Hey, XNYC Prepper here, and I just made a video a little while ago about is it okay to euthanize your dog, or is it okay for a person to commit suicide after they're old and they're suffering and they have pain and stuff like that? Is that okay? And after I made the video, I started thinking about, well, what about after you're dead? Should you be cremated or buried? Should you bury your pet, or should you cremate your pet? Which way is better? And the reason I'm thinking about this was because everyone in my family has been buried except my mom. My mother decided that she preferred to be cremated. And I remember her saying that the reason for that is that she didn't want her body to be eaten by maggots, basically, and bugs. And my mom, I can brag about her so much because she was so beautiful. She was actually a beauty pageant winner and a model. She was very, very beautiful, real pretty face, incredible looks, and she suffered an accident that left her paralyzed from the neck down at the age of I don't remember. I think she was 30 years old. I was 10 when that happened. And well, so she lived from 30 years old, laying in a bed, paralyzed until she was like 63, I believe, when she passed away. But she was always beautiful, even when she was laying in a bed like that she couldn't move her body. And you know, when that happens, you gain weight and everything. And but she had such a pretty face. It's a remarkable face. And she decided that when she went out, she didn't want for, like I said, the maggots to eat you up. And so, what happens when you die? Really, you know, when you get cremated, they stick you in this oven and they burn your body at a high temperature. And all of your flesh and skin and internals are burned away. But what's left is your bones and your teeth. And that's not burnt away. And even the skull is there for a moment until they crush everything. They crush all the bones. I know this sounds a little graphic and stuff like that, but it's reality, it's the truth. This is how it happens. So they burn you, and then whatever's left over your bones, they put it in the machine and they just crush it into a fine dust, powder, whatever, and that's what they give your family. Now, what are you supposed to do with that? According to the Catholic religion, they legalized. It used to be illegal. It was not part of the Catholic religion to do cremation. It was, you know, they believed that you should be buried just like Jesus Christ was buried. And that's what the belief in the Catholic religion has been until 1963. 1963, they decided to legalize cremation. I figured, they said, all right, there's nothing really wrong with it if that's the way you want to go. I mean, the Indians, I believe that that's how they used to. They wouldn't bury their dead people. They would cremate them, and they celebrate, you know, and throw a big party. And I think that's how I want to go. You know, funerals, crying, watching me dead there, laying there dead. You know, and then go to the cemetery and bury me down in the ground. Nah, I don't think so, guy. I think I'm going the same way my mom went. I believe. You know, I don't think I want the bugs to finish me off or whatever. So, but the important thing is where you're gonna bury the ashes, and they should be buried in a cemetery. That's what the Catholic religion says. You don't just take the ashes and, hey, give a little bit to everybody, and people take them and they put them in a little jewelry thing to hang it around their neck, and everybody has a little bit of Uncle Bob on his neck. Nah. You know, you should have my mother has her own burial grave. There's a grave there, but her body's not there because she was cremated. We let the ashes stay. We put her ashes in her grave. That's how it's supposed to be. And when it comes to pets, I think that it's a personal decision, you know. Is it more expensive or is it cheaper? You know, when your animal dies, you can either go out there and bury the animal yourself, which a lot of people do. A lot of people do that. Or they'll spend the money for a cemetery, a pet cemetery, or they'll cremate the dog or the cat or whatever it may be. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my two dogs when the time comes. I plan to be rich. I'm not going out like this. So when that happens, I'll have enough money to cremate them, I guess, and cremate all three of us and bury all three of us in the same hole somewhere. Anyway, guys, food for thought. Which way would you prefer to go? Or which way are you going to go? Have you decided yet? Are you going to be buried? You know, are you going to have your family their last visit with you in the funeral home and have everybody suffering and crying, and then they'll go to the cemetery and cry again, and finally adios, goodbye. Stop by every once in a while at your tombstone and put some flowers down. Or the way I'm doing, this is the way I don't want no funeral for X and YC Prepper, okay? I want a party, baby. I'm going to pay for that party because I'll be rich by the time when I die, I'm going to die a rich man. Not only spiritually, going to Jesus Christ, but financially. And I'll spread my wealth to my family and my friends, but I want them we're going to throw a big party, and I want everybody to celebrate because you go into a better place. If you're a Christian, you believe that you're going to heaven, so you should celebrate your entrance, or they should celebrate your entrance into God's kingdom, into heaven, not celebrate your exit out of this earth that's full of terrible things. You made it until there. Some people are not lucky. Some people, whatever. You know how life is. People die at different ages and stuff like that. But celebrate the fact that you're going to heaven if you're a good person. Now, if you were a real bad person, everybody knew you were doing a lot of bad things. You sinned. You hurt a lot of people. And then there's no celebration for you, bro. So I guess you're going to die and go through the funeral and nobody's going to show up. And basically that's it. You'll be buried in, what's the name of that? There's some place over there where people are buried that the unknown people are buried there. They have no families and they don't even know who they are. Anyway, I don't know why I'm thinking about death, because I got a long way to go. And hopefully you do too. Alright. But I'm thinking about my pets. When they die, what am I going to do? Cremate them? Yeah, because I got a lot of money. I'm not going to stick them down there so the little maggots can get to them. Alright, bye.